Welcome to What the Flick, everybody. We're doing videos of for the Golden Globes, making some picks and just sharing our thoughts. There's no real rhyme or reason or thought to what we're doing.
Or a force, yeah.
For those watching at home, this is what we call vamping.
And we, but we stopped after Best Actress in Best Actor in a Comedy, where we think Ryan Gosling will win, and we're moving on to Best Actress in a Comedy.
Emma Stone for La La Land, Haley Steinfeld for The Edge of 17, Annette Bening for 20th Century Women, Meryl Streep for Florence Foster Jenkins, and Lily Collins for The Little Scene.
Rules
Don't apply.
Little loved.
I loved it a little. You know.
Warren Beatty, by the way, was on TCM last night for his talking about Heaven Can Wait and Reds.
Nice.
And he was, you know, he's a super smart guy. It was really interesting. Yeah. Regarding Gosling in La La Land, if he doesn't win, it's a sign that as Vanity Fair points out, and I think it's true, that the juggernaut of La La Land is not the juggernaut that we thought. Whereas if Emma Stone doesn't win, there's a more reasonable alternative here than there is, I think, for Gosling.
Well, I think also let's not discount the fact that this is one of those groups, and there are many of them out there, that like, oh, Meryl Streep showed up.
Right. We give her something.
And I love Meryl Streep. I don't think this is one of her better films because I feel that the character is given such a limited range, and it feels like the same joke over and over again. So I mean, I take nothing away from Streep as an actress, but I don't think this ranks among her like top work.
I think Annette Bening should win because anytime Annette Bening is on her A game, there's nothing better. That there's literally no actress who is better than Annette Bening when she is at her best, and she's at her best in 20th Century Women. But I think Emma Stone will win, and I think there's nothing wrong with that because she is electrifying.
I would be fine with that too. Yeah. If I were voting, I would vote for Annette Bening.
If you were voting, you would vote for?
I would probably vote for Emma Stone. You know, as we talk about Meryl Streep, like it occurs to me, when's the last really challenging performance we saw out of Meryl?
You know, as much as I didn't like the movie The Iron Lady, I take nothing away from her work in it.
So that's a ways back, though, right? Like, I kind of almost feel like we're getting a bit of the Meryl Streep victory lap.
Well, that's just right. I suspect you'll be proven wrong next year.
Well, you know, it's funny because I mean, for years we always complained that she never works with great directors. You know, that's been sort of the ongoing complaint about her, that she works with the David Frankels of the world. And here she's working with Stephen Frears, and it's like, well, then he should have brought something new out of her, and you know, we didn't. So I don't know.
I mean, first, A, she gets to take a victory lap. B, she'll
look, I'm not
dazzle
complaining. She's a
more
great
times.
Look, like Meryl Streep taking easy roles, I'm not going to complain about because she's a terrific actress. It's almost like complaining about De Niro taking the easy roles these days. Like, sure, fine, he's De Niro, he's earned it, and they're still.
And she has never slummed it as hard as De Niro has.
True.
She's got no dirty. There's no dirty grandma on her resume.
So you would
that would be amazing.
I would go see that.
I would watch the hell out of Meryl Streep in Dirty Grandma.
Make
it happen, Hollywood.
You go Bening. You go Stone. I'm not. I wouldn't. If I had a vote, I wouldn't vote. I would vote for Jill Stein.
Just as a protest.
Just as a protest, because I think it would have the same impact that voting for Jill Stein did. Okay, Best Supporting Actor. The nominees, Alonso?
Sorry.
Mahershala Ali for Moonlight, Jeff Bridges for Hell or High Water, Simon Helberg for Florence Foster Jenkins, Dev Patel for Lion, and Aaron Taylor Johnson for Nocturnal Animals.
I like to see Aaron Taylor Johnson nominated. That's certainly a surprising nomination, but it's good. He was great. Everybody in that movie was great.
Yeah, and I think he was significally better than I'd seen him in other movies. Like, he was okay in the Kick-Ass movies, but I think he went to a whole new place on this film.
Yeah, because he could, in a lot of ways to do that role, could have just been sort of menacing, but there was something, you're drawn to him in some way, not just because he's so handsome, but there was some texture to that role.
I think this is probably between Bridges and Ali. I think that Bridges has the sort of old Hollywood, you know, beloved by the group over the years kind of thing going, but Ali has the sort of award season heat of, he's gotten a lot of the critics prizes, he's, you know, plays a key role in that film, even though he's gone after the first third, like he still reverberates, and, you know, he's also currently in Hidden Figures, and he's good in that, and he's on House of Cards, and so he's...
And Luke Cage, like...
And yeah, so like that's...
He's having a year.
Exactly. He's having a moment.
Yeah, and I mean, and everything, every time he, you know, he gets up to speak, to accept an award, people who've never heard him will only like him. You know, also. So I mean, because he's going to be new to many. I'm talking about the Oscars. He'll be new to many of these Oscar voters. And so I think it's his to lose. Jeff, you know, I couldn't have loved Hell or High Water more, and Jeff Bridges was phenomenal in it. He's not really the supporting actor in Hell or High Water.
That's yeah. I mean, that's one of those weird.
Yeah. But he's terrific. But this seems like it's Ali's.
I mean, you could say that about Dev Patel,
Totally,
too.
yeah.
Right.
But Ali should probably win, although Bridges could easily, certainly worthy. Best Supporting Actress.
Naomi Harris for Moonlight, Michelle Williams for Manchester by the Sea, Viola Davis for Fences, Octavia Spencer for Hidden Figures, and Nicole Kidman for Lion.
Michelle Williams is American, right?
Yeah.
No,
Okay. Is she?
Yeah.
is she? Yeah, you're right. She is.
She was on Dawson's Creek, people.
Good, because I just wanted to, finally we can get a white American woman nominated for Best Supporting Actress. It's about time.
Poor them.
Yeah.
I mean, strong field here. I think Viola Davis, that's like the knockout performance of this category. Although, obviously, if you are a fan of Manchester, those Michelle Williams scenes have a lot to do with why you like it.
She's not in the. She's really not in the movie very much.
No,
but
but
her
she's got a
scenes are
couple of
very
moments that
powerful.
really,
Key,
yeah.
right.
I would go with Viola Davis here. I think that she has been, again, she's having a year. She's, you know, her TV work has gotten her a lot of attention. You know, Suicide Squad, as much as we hated it, was one of the biggest hits of the year. And you know, I think in this movie, I mean, Denzel Washington is giving her a platform in this movie. Like, I think he, you know, I was talking about this with Dave over the weekend, where he's, you know, he's acting the shit out of this, and he's giving himself the room to do so. But he's really like letting Viola Davis have these moments in the film.
You know, and it's an interesting to get in a little bit to the minutia and the strategy behind this. There's a little bit of discussion as to whether or not her role is supporting or lead, right? And
the studio decided she had a better shot at.
She had a better shot as a supporting in the supporting category, because that performance does kind of overwhelm the other performances. They're all fine performances in the rest of these movies, but just from screen time and moving the story forward, Viola Davis has a much bigger role. And you know, you almost you kind of almost want to look back and say, well, maybe she doesn't get it because it's not really a supporting role. But I think, you know, from the qualifications, you know, from the way you're supposed to look at that.
I don't know that people necessarily make that division. I mean, like, you know, the Academy gave Timothy Hutton Best Supporting Actor for Ordinary People, and he's in like practically every scene of the movie.
I think when there's an opportunity to nominate the actress you think, I don't think you think about that.
Yeah, you just go with who's in the category. I mean, I
think she could have won Best Actress, by the way, at least in this field. Not that.
But it was this year was a more competitive year in the lead category, so I can see why Paramount did it. But to this day, I insist that Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs, that's a supporting performance.
Oh, totally, totally.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. I think that up against Naomi Harris, who was so great in Moonlight, and Michelle Williams, who made such an impact in those scenes in a movie, that you know you'd have a better shot than against lesser. You'd have a better shot against Natalie Portman and Amy Adams.
Yeah, I think,
we'll never know.
I think Viola Davis gets this. I do want to say I thought Nicole Kidman was really good in Lion. I thought that was a better performance that we've seen out of her in a long time. It was a bit more challenging.
I've heard that a lot from people.
Yeah, I think she's one of the things that really helps that movie really work well. She's terrific in that, and it's a different role for her than I think, you know, kind of the older, somewhat frumpier mom. She's great in that. But Viola Davis, I think this is hers.
Yeah, it seems like everybody seems to think she'll win, and obviously it's that movie really grew on me. I mean, for 45 minutes into that movie, all I wanted to do was tell Denzel Washington to shut up. Right? Like, Jesus, enough with the talking. God, when your stories are not that good. And then obviously it took a turn that made it great, and mostly her. He's great. He's always great. But okay, so we all think Viola Davis will win. Best Director.
Mel Gibson for Hacksaw Ridge, Tom Ford for Nocturnal Animals, Kenneth Lonergan, Manchester by the Sea, Damien Chazelle, La La Land, and Barry Jenkins, Moonlight.
This is a heavyweight category.
Yeah.
God, I have no idea.
I suspect La La Land's going to win a lot, everything that it's largely up for.
Do we think, I mean, I guess obviously it's different in this case because there's two Best Picture winners because of the drama versus comedy, but like, do we think there's going to be a split where like one film takes director and another one takes picture?
One, I mean, where like, which, you know,
or two other films. What I'm saying, like the three movies are basically.
three movies could win here, right?
Yeah.
No, I think that Jamie and Chazelle will win. But yes, it's possible that it's hard to imagine La La Land winning Best Musical and Gosling and Stone winning, and then you get
Mel Gibson.
Did this movie direct itself?
But
you know,
I will say, like, I could see Mel Gibson getting it for Hacksaw Ridge. I absolutely, like, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. And to be clear, that's a hell of a movie. Like, it is a very powerful movie.
It is a well-made film, and there's a lot to recommend about it. And I think if the Globes felt as a group that they were somehow making Hollywood okay to like Mel Gibson again by giving him this award, they might collectively decide to go there. I don't know.
Totally. And also, I mean, you know, I was just reading here in Vanity Fair, you know, in the year of Trump, that like, you know, there's a degree of Mel Gibson walking up there like, yeah, that's right, I win. You know?
Me, mine.
Right. Make Mel great again. But I'm reminded of, as I say things like that, of when Jodie Foster was in the studio and she talked so openly about Gibson, and like she's like, look, ask anybody in town who the best actor, director to work with is, to make a movie, everything, and they will all say Mel Gibson. Everybody likes him. Everybody likes him. He's good, he's decent. And she's like, I defend nothing of what he said. Nothing. Right. You know, she's like, this guy drinks, that's a different dude.
Ask anyone in the Malibu PD, you might get a different answer.
No, but there are those people who I mean, look, like, we all know people that we love, and then, oh shit, they've started drinking.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
And run for the hills.
So,
right? Like,
it's just interesting that you know, still, despite and
you know, I mean, this is a whole other conversation, but like we had Matt Seitz on the podcast, and we talked about this interesting conflict between his obvious impulses to sort of achieve a level of purity in his work. I mean, so many of his films are about religion and about spirituality and about, you know, the you know, heroism, and then at the same time, like, of the people who are brought down by their own demons off or outside of the art, you know, like he's got that conflict going on all the time.
Yeah. Although I just, and before we let Mel Gibson go, it is worth remembering that one of the things he said, forget, you know, what are you looking at? Sugar tits, which is almost amusing, right? And it's ridiculousness. And the Jews started all the wars.
Oh, yes,
right?
oh, yeah.
Right? I hope you get raped by a pack of N-words.
Oh, yes.
Like that is, in a sense, the notion that anyone could, if you picked a line and had to say, what's a line someone could never recover from in Hollywood? I would craft that line and think, well, no one would ever say that. But if they did, they'd be done forever.
Especially, and it's not even allegedly, like it's on tape.
It's tape. We've heard him say it. I've heard him say it 1,000 times now. So, but again, interesting that those people who worked with him, they're like, I know, I hear you, it's horrible, it's awful, I'm telling you.
Such a great guy.
He's such a great guy. So interesting. So anyway, I think Chazelle will win. All right. Thanks.
Should we divvy up we'll come back and we'll talk about TV.
We'll come back and talk about TV, and we don't mean to dismiss screenplay.
The writing and the, you know,
but
the Globe.
Who cares?
On.
Who cares?
All right, thanks everybody.